The phrase blessing in disguise is one that was first found in mid-1700s English, and is used to mean something that first appeared bad or unlucky, but actually turned out to be good. Recently, it's a phrase which has seeped into the footballing lexicon. It's often said when a team goes out of a cup competition that it may be a blessing in disguise, as it will allow the team to concentrate on their primary competition and play fewer games. Other instances in which the term is used is when a club misses out on a player who then goes on to do poorly for their current club, or at a different team they signed for. Alternatively, the failure to sign one player may have meant the signing of another, who turned out to be a much shrewder piece of business. Additionally, sometimes an injury to one player can pave the way for another player to come into the fold and enjoy great success, and that too could be described as a blessing in disguise. Here are our 7 biggest blessings in disguise in football history. Calciopoli scandal. The Calciopoli scandal was hugely damaging to Italian football, and in many ways was far from a blessing in disguise. But for one group of players at least, it was just that, and they were the Italian national team. Italy went into the 2006 World Cup in Germany regarded as a country in turmoil, and a national team who many expected to be plagued by internal disputes and fallouts, making them rank outsiders. Most people wrote them off without noting the sheer quality of that squad, which featured players such as Buffon, Cannavaro, Nesta, Pirlo, Totti, Del Piero and more. Italy saw off host Germany in the semi-final and beat France in the final to defy the odds and win the World Cup. Dion Dublin breaking his leg. It seems almost distasteful to call someone breaking their leg a blessing in disguise, such as the severity of the injury, but for Manchester United, Dion Dublin's serious injury was arguably a defining point in the history of the club. His leg break forced Alex Ferguson into signing Eric Cantona, and while Dublin was a very good player, it seems unlikely that he would have had the profound influence at Old Trafford that the man they called King Eric did. Cantona went on to win 4 Premier League titles with Manchester United, changing the face of English football, whilst Dublin left the club for Coventry City after just 12 games, and is now a presenter on the BBC series Homes Under the Hammer. Leeds lose to Manchester United twice in a week. You'd do well to convince any Leeds United supporter that losing twice in 1 week to their bitter rivals Manchester United was a good thing, but in the 1991-92 season, that was arguably the case. By bizarre coincidence, the two teams who were fighting for the title were paired against one another in both cup competitions, played over 1 week. Manchester United won both games, winning 1-0 in the FA Cup and 3-1 in the League Cup. They went on to win the League Cup, but it was Leeds who won the First Division, most likely in no small part down to the 7 games fewer they had to play. Barcelona missed out on David Beckham. In the summer of 2003, David Beckham was very closely linked with a move to Barcelona, with Barca's club president even describing the deal as being as good as done. But rivals Real Madrid swooped in and made Beckham theirs, forcing Barcelona to look elsewhere. Elsewhere turned out to be Brazilian midfielder Ronaldinho, and the Samba star went on to become a genius at Barcelona, winning 2 league titles and 1 Champions League, almost certainly being a far greater fit at the Camp Nou than Beckham would have been. Manchester United miss out on Ronaldinho. When Barcelona turned their attention to Ronaldinho, they snapped up a man Sir Alex Ferguson had been confident of signing. Having been on United's radar for some time, the Red Devils had made a formal bid for Ronaldinho in 2003, before being gazumped by the team from Catalonia. Having missed out on Ronaldinho, Sir Alex turned his attention to an emerging Portuguese talent who went by the name of Cristiano Ronaldo. He signed Ronaldo for half the price of Ronaldinho, and the winger proceeded to win 9 trophies in 6 years at Old Trafford, before being sold to Real Madrid for a world record transfer fee. Emerson dislocates his shoulder. The Brazil team of 2002 was one laced with attacking talent. The 3 R's made up of Ronaldinho, Rivaldo and Ronaldo were enough to strike fear into any defence, but there were always question marks regarding their defensive capabilities. One thing Brazil needed was an excellent holding midfielder. It was Roma midfielder Emerson who was the first choice before he offered to go in goal during a training session ahead of the 2002 World Cup. Emerson dislocated his shoulder and Gilberto Silva came into the team. Silva had an exceptional tournament, providing an ideal shield for Brazil's attacking might, and they went on to win the World Cup relatively comfortably. Germany lose 5-1 to England. England and Germany provided one of international football's best rivalries over the years. When Germany beat England 1-0 in the final match at the old Wembley Stadium, there was some hurt among the England fans, and the opposite fixture held in Munich became a big game, not just due to the importance of qualifying for the 2002 World Cup. Germany took the lead after just 6 minutes, but in a remarkable turnaround, England went on to thrash Germany 5-1, with a Michael Owen hat-trick doing much of the damage. The result was seen as humiliation for the Germans, a defeat that brought about a new era for the German game. They revamped how football was run in the country, from grassroots to academies to the professional game. This revamp has seen a huge turnaround in the level of player produced by Germany in recent years, ultimately culminating in their success at the 2014 World Cup, whilst England have arguably only gone backwards in the last decade and a half. So that's it for our top 7. The long and fascinating history of football has produced many more blessings in disguise, and you can find some honourable mentions in the video description. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to HITC Sevens.